Joel, I'm curious, what kind of work do you want?
What kind of work do I want? One where I get paid lots of money and don't have to do anything for it.
Hmm. What kind of other work do you want, and what would change your mind?
Those are good questions. Those are questions that, as a new entrepreneur entering into the workplace, that you have to kind of define. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you don't want to do? Looking back at nearly 13 years ago when I started Doc's Facility Solutions, the question I had was, what the heck kind of work am I even going to find? I mean, I knew I could clean because I've been doing it all my life, and I was a salesperson for a good portion of that time. But it's like, what are you going to be willing to do? At first, being kind of a company of 1.5 to 2.
Wait a minute, 1.5?
Well, it wasn't just me. I had a business partner who worked a full-time job somewhere else, working part-time nights for us as we grew the business.
Okay.
So that's where the 1.5 comes. You can only accomplish so much because you can only work so many hours.
Right.
And in the beginning, it was like we took a lot of little jobs, things that we could do in an hour or two together and move to the next one, or maybe one day a month, one day a week, whatever it was. And then we had an opportunity to clean a larger building where we knew we were going to have to hire 2 people or give up all the work we had and do that one building. So we sat down and we talked at length, and it was a big decision. It really was. And we decided, did we want to take on employees? Because when you take on employees, you assume more risks. There's more costs. You're now having to leverage yourself, which is great about leveraging because you can do more work. You have more capacity to grow when you have more staff, but you also give up some of the control and some of the ideologies, and your staff member is making decisions on the spot. Like, do I empty this can or not? Do I throw that box out or not?
A question for you on that. Is it that sense of control that you're not the one doing? I've been through this with numerous owners, and usually the first word we go to is control, but the word behind it is trust.
It is trust more than control, because you have to trust them that they're going to make the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
Most clients expect that you're there, that you specifically, the owner, is there. I worked for one company, and he grew to the point where he had a staff member. Oh, that was me doing the work. And the owner of that particular building said, I don't want to see a staff member here. I want to see you here cleaning my toilets. So you have to understand that you have to make a decision. What way do you want your business to go? How big do you want to be? How many employees do you want to have? What kind of work? What are you willing to do and not willing to do?
We've talked about those decisions numerous times. One of the things that I appreciate about your answers
is that they're vague.
No, they're very specifically not vague. Often they are preceded by, it depends, because it depends. Are you in startup? Are you partway through your second year? Are you 10 years down the road? And all of those seem to be a framework for what kind of work would I do? What kind of work will I do? And what am I willing to take on? Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. When I worked for another company and I was in a networking organization, I got a referral from the bookkeeper that was there. She was working with another cleaning company, and they were a husband and wife owned and only had a couple of employees that worked for them. And they didn't have a lot of floor and carpet knowledge, nor did they have the equipment to do it. And they were cleaning a very large facility, about 150,000 square foot facility. That particular facility was open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They only had to work 5 days a week, which worked out well for them because the weekends were, more of a skeleton type crew working in these facilities. But they worked Monday through Friday, but they couldn't do all the carpet and floor work. It was impossible. So that referral came to us. Now, we were a very small company that I worked for back then, but they specialized in floor and carpet work. Well, we had the equipment, we had the people, we had the capacity to do the work. So we were able to do it. And it was the first really large client that we had as that particular firm saying, my gosh, we clean this monstrosity of a building and all the floors and carpets in it quarterly. And that was a huge job for us at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it opened up other opportunities because of that. So you have to have some foresight to determine what is it that you're willing to do. You really want to grow that big? Do you want to have that type of thing on your plate? Do you want to have that? Do you really want that kind of pressure and stress? Because getting that big of a facility done on a quarterly basis and have to do it in less than a week's time is important. Those are all decisions that you have to make. Do you want to work 7 days a week? Do you want to work days and nights? Do you want a maid service and a commercial janitorial? Do you want a maid service, janitorial, and do construction cleanups? You can keep adding things on, and you can say, oh, well, that's great because I can do all this work and I can buy all this equipment and I can have all these fun toys. But if they're sitting around and not making money, is it really worth it? Yeah, you can do that. You have the knowledge, you have the piece of equipment, but are you out there trying to capture that 1% of the work that you might be able to, or are you going to attack the bigger items that you can do where your real niche is?
Okay, we've covered a number of opportunities here, and I really want to speak to the cleaning company owner who's in this spot of we're growing a little bit, we have the opportunity to grow a lot, or stay in this vein that we're in. One of the things that we've talked about is how changing gears is where you lose momentum and you lose money. And that's, I believe, what you were just talking about. Find that groove that fits your business, your profile, your existing equipment. If there's an opportunity for more, great. Find that thing that's going to fit and pay you. There's that piece right there. But that's just centered around equipment and time. The expansion to that is equipment, time, and then staff, because now it's not just doing the job, but managing the personal resources, the human resources.
Having the right cash flow, because you got to have the cash on hand to pay the employees because there's always a lag in payment. It's not like a lot of industries where you buy goods or services and you pay with that credit card and that money's instantly put in your bank. You're waiting.
Are you trying to tell me that people don't pay you the moment you're done? I'll take that as a yes.
It would be nice. I spend more time chasing money than I care to. Even people that pay a couple days late can mean the difference of making a payroll or not.
Yeah.
Particularly when you're first starting out.
To our owner who's listening and is either nodding along or chewing your way through the steering wheel, I'd like you to hear the topics we just talked about. You are likely in the middle of at least 3 of these decisions right now. You're trying to decide what job to take on, what prospect should I be chasing, what client should I be pursuing, how am I going to make payroll when my client hasn't yet coughed up that cash that they're 30 days past due on. All those items go into deciding what customers, what profile, what industries will I pursue. In order to make a great decision, you need great information. And you have a coach right here. Joel has done these things himself. He's coached so many business owners through these exact situations with the knowledge and the experience and the scars that he's picked up in this industry. If you'd like to save yourself a few, I strongly encourage you to reach out to him. Joel, thank you.
You're welcome.